Hello, welcome to ACE Manager. ACE 9 Controls in Procurement Function. My content on controls would be incomplete if I do not cover any procurement related frauds or manipulations and recommend procedures to minimize such instances. Long time ago, when I was getting a house constructed, I met a young building material supplier. He appeared to be doing roaring business. I asked him what was the secret of his success. He said, I buy the buyer. I always remembered this statement whenever I had a chance to review any procurement related activity. Statistically, it has been reported that majority of fraudulent manipulations in business organizations related to procurement function. However, high probability of frauds in this function are hardly recognized by many organizations, and procurement related procedures are looked at as a mere formality or like bureaucracy hindering smooth conduct of business. I had seen an endorsement by a managing director on a quotation from a service provider. Let us award this contract to this vendor, but complete the due process of obtaining 2 more quotations from other vendors to complete documentation. It is possible to share many instances of procurement frauds, but I would like to confine them to a couple of cases and utilize the time for recommending more effective controls in this area. First case, purchase of laptop bags. Requirement was to procure laptop bags worth about rupees 2 million. Since the company's procedure prescribed minimum 3 quotations to be obtained in a sealed envelope to be opened in the presence of a finance representative, this was done. Subsequently, a quotation comparison statement and finalizing the purchase order, preferably on the L1 vendor. L1 stands for the lowest vendor. After negotiations is the suggested procedure. Head purchase, instead of negotiations with vendors, chose to obtain revised quotations by email directly to him with no copy to finance. Gokul Stationery, who was one of the 3 bidders, chose to retain their original price of 705 rupees per bag and submitted a letter to this effect. Gift Enterprises and Bhagirath Stores, the remaining 2 vendors, were given time till 12 noon the next day to submit the revised quotes. Gift Enterprises quoted rupees 595 per bag and sent their quote by email by 9:54 in the morning the next day. Bhagirath Stores submitted their revised quote by email at rupees 590 per bag and sent it at 12:30 p.m. that day and bagged the order, just with a difference of 5 rupees. Obviously, the quote of Gift Enterprises was leaked to Bhagirath and he was the favored vendor. It can look like a coincidence, but if you see a similar pattern where the last bidder keeps getting the contract on a marginal reduction in price, you tend to realize that it is a manipulative pattern. Second case, awarding security contract worth 42 million rupees. Quotation was invited from 3 service providers: Bombay Security, Impact Intelligence, and Glorious. These 3 vendors were L1, L2, and L3 in the same sequence. Revised quotations were invited more than once on some pretext or other, and eventually original L1 became L3 and the original L3 became L1. Both the cases were scrutinized as a part of a whistleblower investigation, and CEO of the company took the right decision to terminate the services of head purchase. CEO further asked for a more detailed procurement procedure, leaving no room for deviations. Let us now come to what could be appropriate as a procedure for procurement. Overriding principle is genuine competition amongst vendors gives the best price and quality. Second principle, go by materiality. Do not prescribe stringent procedure for low value purchases. Vendor population from where you choose bidders should be adequately representative. Ensure secrecy of the prices during the bidding process. Instead of emails, you may use software tools available in the market. In the case of technology purchases, have a two-step bidding process, one technical and the second commercial. After finishing technical bids, open the commercial bids only for those who are technically qualified. In the event of any negotiations, sequence in which you call the vendors should be L3 followed by L2 followed by L1. This means original L1 will have the last chance to bid. Finally, as far as possible, avoid single bid purchases unless they are from original equipment manufacturers. These points can go on, but the first principle, namely genuine competition amongst vendors, is the overall guiding principle. In organizations where purchase cost is significant, robust procedures in procurement will make procurement function a profit center. In this sense, it can bring savings to the organization. On the contrary, inadequate attention to this process can mean adding hidden costs to the organization's operations. Thank you for your attention.